Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Today is July 27th. The Marlins have lost 12 straight. The Nationals and Red Sox have made a trade. Let's talk about it. Hello, everybody. My name is Steven. This is the middle of the order. How are we doing today, ladies and gentlemen? That is right. We are at the last week of July. We're about to be entering August and September. Just 2 months remaining for this MLB season. And by the way, check your calendars. The trade deadline is next week. Exactly 7 days away. Your team, if they were going to be buyers, they gotta have a great week of baseball to round off the month of July and into the trade deadline. With that being said, though, let's get into our series recap. Leading us off, we have the Braves and the Oilers. After the Braves tied it up in the 8th from a Drake Baldwin home run, this game goes into extras where Matt Olson hits a 3-run home run to give the Braves 4 runs in the 10th inning, which is good because Baltimore got 3 runs thanks to a Christian Encarnacion Strand home run, but the O's fall a run short in the 10th. Braves win it 7-6. Gunnar homers for the O's in Game 2. Albies ties it in the 8th with a home run, but Baltimore made sure this one doesn't go to extras, and they finish it off in the 9th with the walk-off single from Dylan Beavers, giving Baltimore a 3-2 victory. And in the last game, the Oilers tied it in the 9th to go on to extras, but that was just delaying the loss. The Braves score 1 in the 11th inning. They hold Baltimore. They take the series win 3-2 in 11. Blue Jays and Red Sox. Anthony Seigler and Cedane Rafaela both homer for the Red Sox. Kazuma Okamoto hits his record-setting 23rd homer of the season. The Red Sox get 2 in the 8th to take the lead. They hold on to a 6-4 victory. The Blue Jays then score 5 in the 3rd in Game 2, including a 3-run Springer dinger, while Cease pitches a 1-hit complete game shutout. The Blue Jays win it 6-0. And in the last game, the Red Sox score 6 unanswered, including 3 runs in the 7th. They win it 6-1 and take 2 of 3 from Toronto. The Guardians and the Rays now. Ryan Valade and Richie Palacios both go deep as the Rays blow it open 11-3 the final. Rays pitching blanks the Guardians as they pick a couple up in the 5th and 6th for a 3-0 victory. And then once again, the Rays pitching blanking the Guardians. Cedric Mullins with an RBI single is the only run of the game. The Rays win it 1-0 and sweep the Guardians. Royals and Tigers now. They played for James Outman. It's a clutch go-ahead 3-run homer in the 7th to help make the difference in a 4-3 Tigers win. Then there's 2 Tiger runs in the 1st, and that's all they would need as the Royals get tossed around by Tarek Skubal. It's a 2-1 Detroit victory. Then in Game 3, Salvador Perez hits the home run to become the all-time Royals leader in home runs, passing George Brett. Nick Lofton hits a go-ahead homer in the 9th. Royals with a 3-2 victory. And in the last game, down 1, Michael Massey hits a go-ahead 2-run shot for the lead as the Royals come back to split the series with a 5-4 victory against the Tigers. A's and Twins now. The A's get 2 runs, and that's enough as they use 5 pitchers to blank the Twins in a 2-0 victory. Now it's the Twins' turn to return the favor with a 2-0 victory as Alan Roden picks up a 2 RBI single for the only 2 runs of this game. Twins even the series. And in the last game, the Twins score in 6 of 8 innings. The A's try to come back, but they run out of time, and it doesn't help when you pick up 4 errors in the game. The Twins, with an 11-8 victory, take 2 of 3 from the A's. Astros and White Sox now. The Astros come back from down 5, scoring 8 runs in the 6th, including a go-ahead home run from Cam Smith for the lead. The Astros win it 9-5. They come back in Game 2 as Isaac Paredes naps 3 RBIs. That's all they would need as Hunter Brown shoves. The Astros win it 4-1. But in the last game, Jeremy Pena, a 2-homer game. Munetaka Murakami with a 2-homer game on his bobblehead giveaway. Miguel Vargas also homers, as does Chase Mydroth and Junior Perez. The White Sox all over the Astros. They win it 12-3. Mariners and Rangers now start a 4-game set. The Rangers with a win. Wyatt Langford and Jake Berger both go deep. It's a 5-4 Texas win. The Rangers then scored 5 runs in the first 2 innings as Nathan Eovaldi does the rest in a 7-1 Rangers win. Dominic Canzone in Game 3 hit a clutch go-ahead 3-run homer in the 7th, ends up going back-to-back with Randy Arozarena in a 6-4 Mariners win, and that's how it stands with Game 4 happening today. Currently Rangers with 2 of 3, but that 4th game very telling. Dodgers and Mets now. Kyle Tucker's 2-run homer in the 8th. That's the difference in the opener as the Dodgers win it 4-2. Tucker has back-to-back games with a home run as he starts a 3-run third for LA as they go on to win it 4-3. But in the last game, Tyrone Taylor hits a go-ahead 3-run home run that starts 7 unanswered for the Mets across just 2 innings. Marcus Semien also with a 3-run homer in this game. The Mets win it 8-3 to avoid the sweep. D-backs and Nationals now. The D-backs take the lead in the 7th on a Gabriel Moreno sac fly. They end up holding on to a 3-2 victory. In the second game, Nationals score 4 runs in the 3rd. They add a CJ Abrams home run, his 25th of the season. Nats with a 5-3 victory. And in the last game, CJ Abrams and James Wood combined for 4 homers. CJ Abrams a 2-homer game, James Wood a 2-homer game. The Nationals win it 10-7, taking 2 of 3 from Arizona. Padres and Marlins now. Luis Rengifo comes through with a go-ahead 2-run homer in the 8th inning. That's the difference for the Padres in the opener, 4-2 the final. Ty France alone in this game picked up 3 RBIs, which was good enough to beat the Marlins as they only got 2 runs in this one. But as a team, the Padres score 7 and beat the Marlins 7-2. And in the last game, the Marlins were just 6 outs away from ending this massive losing streak. But in the end, it's the 8th inning Padres that get 4 runs, including 2 homers, 1 from Manny Machado, who ties the game, and 1 from Jackson Merrill, who gives the Padres the lead. The Marlins have been swept in 4 straight series and have lost 12 in a row, a new franchise worst, as Padres come back, win it 5-3, and get the sweep. Yankees and Phillies now. Only run of this game was when Paul Goldschmidt homers off of Jesus Luzardo. 1-0 Yankees as Cam Schlittler and Luzardo was dominant otherwise. In the second game, Austin Wells and Jason Dominguez both homer as the Yankees take a 3-1 victory. And in the last game, the Phillies, after scoring only 1 run in the first 18 innings of this series, wake up. They get 4 runs in the 3rd, get 5 runs in the 6th. Bryson Stott homers in the game. Phillies avoid the sweep with an 11-4 victory. Cubs and Pirates now. The Cubs get to extras thanks to a game-tying home run from Pete Crow Armstrong. The Cubs score 2 in the 10th and hold the Pirates to just 1 as they take the opener 3-2 in 10. They then tee off of Skeens after getting dominated by him. 4 innings with nothing. They turn it around and score in the last 4 straight innings from the 5th to the 8th, including a 5-run 6th inning. Pete Crow Armstrong homers. The Cubs win it 11-0, looking for the sweep but won't find it. Sean Ross hits his first career MLB hit. It's his first career MLB home run. Esmeralyn Valdez homers as well as Ryan O'Hearn, who hits a grand slam. The Pirates avoid the sweep with that 8-7 victory over the Cubs. Reds and Cardinals now. Eugenio Suarez hits a go-ahead home run in the 7th. The Reds take the opener 4-2. The Cardinals in Game 2 pile it on. They score 6 runs in the 6th as they get to Hunter Green in a 7-0 Cardinals victory. And in the rubber match, Ke'Bryan Hayes homers. He ties it in the 5th. This game goes to extras where the Reds score 3 runs in the 10th and hold the Cardinals to just 1 as the Reds win it 5-3 in 10. Rockies and Brewers now. The Rockies score 2 in the 1st, and they get a few more runs in this one as they hold the Brewers to just 2 solo shots from Yelich and Turang. Rockies with the opener 5-2. Cooper Pratt in Game 2 goes 3 for 3 with 3 RBIs and a home run. Luis Lara goes 2 for 2 with 3 RBIs. Those 2 players contribute to the Brewers' 8-5 victory, and they weren't done. In the 3rd game, Andrew Bond goes deep as him, Cooper Pratt, and Luis Lara all pick up 2 RBIs in this game. Those 2 players, Cooper Pratt and Lara, picking up 5 RBIs each in the last 2 games. Brewers with an 11-2 victory, take 2 of 3 from the Rockies. Last but not least, we've got the Angels and the Giants. Vaughn Grissom ties this game up in the 8th inning with a solo shot homer. We go to extras where the Giants hold the Angels and Rafael Devers picks it up, the walk-off single for the win. Giants with a 7-6 victory in 10. They go on to game 2 where Young-Ho Lee and Rafael Devers hit 3-run homers each. The Giants score 9 runs unanswered in just 2 innings of work. Giants with a 9-2 victory. Look for the sweep, but cannot find it. Jorge Soler and Joe Adell both go deep in the 4th inning as the Angels avoid the sweep with a 4-3 win. And that's your series recap. All right, now let's get to the game of the weekend, and we are going to Miami. The Padres against the Marlins. This is game 3 on Sunday, and it starts off with Liam Hicks stealing third base and ends up scoring on a throwing error by Luis Campusano to get the Marlins the 1-run lead. Then Graham Pauley picks up an RBI single as the Marlins get 2 in the 2nd. Kyle Stowers hits his 13th home run of the season. Miami up 3-0 in this one and feeling good. Top 5, Manny Machado picks up the Padres' first run with an RBI double to make it 3-1. We go to the 8th now. Marlins still up by 2, just 6 outs away from getting this win, and it is a much-needed win. But with a runner on, Manny Machado, it's his 23rd homer of the season. The 2-run shot ties this game up. It's a brand new ball game. A batter later, it's Jackson Merrill who gets his 15th homer of the season. The go-ahead shot for the Padres to put them up. The inning would continue. Luis Campusano with the RBI single makes it 5-3 Padres. They get 4 runs in the 8th. They come back from down 2 to be up 2. They win it 5-3. They get the sweep to get them back to 500. They're now at 53-53, while the Marlins are now 1 game, or 2 games technically, under 500, now at 52-54. They've lost 12 straight and have been swept 4 times. That is your game of the weekend, and that brings us into the baseball news, and we're starting with these Miami Marlins because it has been a really poor showing for them lately. When you go and look at the month of June for the Marlins, they were on an absolute tear. They swept the Nationals. They took 2 of 3 from the Rays. They swept the Diamondbacks. They took 2 of 3 from the Pirates. You know, they lost a series against the Phillies, but that's fine because you're going to come back and sweep the Giants, beat the Rangers in a series, beat the Rockies in a series, and then split the Rockies. Did I say they beat the Rockies in a series? They beat the Cardinals in a series, and then split a 4-game set with the Rockies entering the month of July. They won the first 2 games in June and then lost the second 2 games in July. You're still with the Miami Marlins, the best team in baseball, or playing like the best team in baseball. They then swept the A's, swept the Mariners, and since those back-to-back sweeps where they've won 6 straight, they have now lost 12 straight. They got swept by the Guardians entering the All-Star break and have come out and have yet to win a game since the second half of the season started. Their last win happened on July 9th when they swept the Mariners. They got swept by the Brewers, they got swept by the Astros, and now have been swept by the Padres. And if you think it gets better, they now have to play the Philadelphia Phillies, who are actually trying to compete in the NL East division here. I mean, the Miami Marlins, they went from 10 games above 500 to now being 2 games under 500. They're under 500 for the first time since, I don't know, beginning of June, maybe, like even earlier. I have no idea when the last time they were below 500. They've been passed by the Nationals. They're now 2 games back of the Nationals. Losing 12 straight will do that to you. To be fair, and I will give Marlins credit, the fact that they were able to build up such a gap in the first place is impressive because they're only 3 games back of the wild card. At this point in the season, if you go on a losing streak like this, you should be out of any playoff contention. The fact that they're still just a sweep away, technically, from being in the wild card spot goes to show you how incredible Miami was playing for, a good month and a half here. But these last 2 weeks have been super telling, and Miami is just throwing it all down the drain. What's even more telling is that the fact that they've lost 12 straight, and they're still 7 games up on the Mets for last place in the division. That's just something I want to throw in there. Pretty funny there. But yeah, and like now you got to play the Phillies, who again, as I mentioned, they're 5.5 back of the Braves. They're still got work to do to try to claw back at them. Right now, Miami Marlins, before this losing streak happened, they were just 3 games back of the Braves. They're now 10.5 games back. They're in fourth place. I mean, they basically have thrown away any chance at the division with this 12-game losing streak. And maybe they turn it around and win the next 12 games straight. I have no idea. But right now, if you're Miami, it's not the worst thing in the world in terms of playoffs. Like I said, only 3 games back of the wild card. But the wins got to start coming now. And I mean, it's not going to start with a series against the Phillies, I got to say. I mean, you got to end the 12-game losing streak. It's a franchise worst. They've never in their history have lost 12 straight games. So it's definitely not where you want to be if you're Miami right now, and especially at this point in the season, with the deadline being exactly 1 week away. It's time to turn it around if you are Miami, and it needs to happen now. And speaking of the deadline, let's talk about the Nationals and the Red Sox, because we did get a trade over the weekend here, and it's one that has Boston fans scratching their heads. The Red Sox are trading Cannelli early to the Nationals in exchange for Curtis Mead. It's a 1-for-1 major league player swap here. Cannelli early, what do you know about him? Well, he came up with Boston last year and pitched in just 4 games, where he won one of those games, lost the other two. And then a no decision. He had a 2.33 ERA in 19 and a third innings, only giving up 5 earned runs while striking out 29. Kind of was impressive towards, the September month there. And he's been around this year in 2026, his first, official year in the big leagues, really. He's made 17 starts for Boston. He was 7-5, a 1.6 WAR, a 3.44 ERA in 91 and 2/3 innings, gave up 35 earned runs while striking out 93 batters. He's been pretty good for Boston, and then you look at his games as well. While Boston was on that insane winning streak, it goes to show you exactly like what he was capable of here. Funnily enough, his last appearance here, the 4 innings that he pitched against the Nationals, goes to show you the team that he last faced as a member with Boston is his now new team in Washington. But he's been very good as of late. He had one tough start against Texas recently where he gave up 6 earned runs. But outside of that, against Seattle and the Yankees in that massive game-winning streak that Boston was on, he only gave up 3 earned runs in 12 innings pitched. And he is, he's only 24 years old. He's a young kid. He's gonna be a big asset for the Washington Nationals in their rotation here. And Boston fans aren't that happy that they traded him for Curtis Mead. And now, no disrespect to Curtis Mead, because he is having, quite frankly, an insane year. Easily, without a doubt, the best year of his young career. He's only 25 years old, so he's also just a young player as well, infielder. Now for the Red Sox, came up with the Rays in 2023, had 2 full seasons there with Tampa. In 2025 was with the Rays, got moved to the White Sox before now joining the Nationals for 2026. And the reason why that's been so many teams in just a short stint is because his games haven't been that great. In just the 3 years that he spent with between Tampa and the White Sox, he only got into about 120 games as kind of a platoon player, and his offensive numbers weren't anything crazy. I mean, you look back at that first year in 2023, he got into 24 games, he had 21 hits, a 675 OPS, like just not anything crazy. Were frankly bad. Like he wasn't anything offensively impressive. And kind of one of those players that we were all thinking, well, he's going to bust because that's kind of the trajectory that he was on. I mean, in those first 3 seasons of his career, he has a combined negative zero point 0.2 WAR. That's not really a recipe for a player that's going to go out and, ball out and continue to have this success in Major League. But so far with Washington this year, he has completely rewritten all of that. In 87 games with the Nationals, he has 72 hits, a career high, 17 doubles, a career high, 17 home runs. In his 3 years before, he had 5. Now he has 17. Unreal numbers there. 48 RBIs, a career high. 254, the best of his career. And 852 OPS, the best of his career. He's gone from having a zero point 0.2 career WAR to a 1.9 career WAR, and that's because he's been playing at a 2.1 this season. He's having a fantastic year, but is this a one-off year for him, or maybe it was just because he was with the Nationals? I don't know. Me personally, looking at it right now, in the short stint that Kennelly Early has had versus the little bit longer stint that Curtis Mead had, I think the Nationals are going to end up winning this trade. I mean, Early looks like he can be, um, you know, like I wouldn't say ace level material, but he could get there one day. Like he's got that kind of potential. Mead, I would love for this season to be the start of a really solid career, because if he's putting up numbers like this each and every single year, Boston's gonna be very happy with this trade. But again, like, is it really what Boston needs? I don't know. Maybe they needed a little bit more defense. He's all right defensively. Like I said, the batting numbers have improved this year. But is this a special one-off year, or is this the new Curtis Mead normal as he figured it out as the infielder? So that's what's going on right now between the Nationals and the Red Sox. The first kind of bigger trade of the season here as we get closer and closer to the deadline. But yeah, let me know who you guys think ends up winning this trade. But I think Washington is very happy with their new starter. Moving on here, let's talk about Hall of Fame, because this was the weekend that saw the 3 newest introductories into the Hall of Fame, the induction of Carlos Beltran, Andrew Jones, and Jeff Kent. Obviously, we've talked about these guys previously when the actual Hall of Fame voting was done during the offseason, but they were officially elected into the Hall. We got their plaques. And had a nice little Hall of Fame weekend. A lot of teams, or not all, not a lot of teams, all of the teams were wearing like a little throwback Hall of Fame hat. So that was pretty cool to see. Of course, Carlos Beltran, 70 career WAR, Rookie of the Year, 9-time All-Star, 3-time Gold Glove winner, 2-time Silver Slugger. I mean, just an absolutely insane career. And a great player, 20 years, 7 with the Mets, 7 with the Royals. But yeah, Carlos Beltran, welcome to the Hall of Fame. Of course, Andrew Jones, the 5-time All-Star, the 10-time Gold Glove winner. He had a sick defensive wizard glove out there, one of the best defensive outfielders during that era. But he can also swing it a little bit. He also has a Silver Slugger in his back pocket as well. Absolutely insane stuff. Led the league in 2005 with 128 RBIs and 51 homers, by the way. I mean, he had a stretch of baseball from 2000 to 2006. Those 7 years, absolutely insane numbers. He had an 865 OPS, 262 homers of his total 434. Nearly half of his homers came in just a 6-year stint or a 7-year stint outside of the other 10 years of his career, 17-year playing career for him. Majority with the Braves, 12 of those 17 years with Atlanta, before a little stint with the Yankees, White Sox, Texas, and Dodgers, basically a year in each organization there. And then lastly, of course, Jeff Kent, he has an MVP in his case. He's a 5-time All-Star, the 4-time Silver Slugger. He's got a year with Toronto, a year with Cleveland, 6 years with the Giants. That's where his best years came from. 5 with the Mets, 4 with the Dodgers, 2 with the Astros. Yeah, just a very, very, very good ball player to say the least. That MVP, of course, was in the year of 2000, where he had a 7.2 WAR, 33 homers, 125 RBIs. He had a 334 batting average, and by the way, his OPS that year 1.021. Just an absolutely insane stretch. I mean, his time with the Giants, he went from a 2.4 WAR player to a 4-point WAR when he joined in 1997 and spent 5 years there, where he went ballistics in 900 games, picked up 31.6 WAR. He had over 1,000 hits with the Giants, 175 RBIs, or sorry, 175 home runs, 689 RBIs. He had a 903 OPS in his time. Absolutely insane stuff. So once again, congratulations to Carlos Beltran, Andrew Jones, and Jeff Kent making into the Hall of Fame. We knew they were getting into the Hall of Fame, but they were officially inducted over the weekend. Really cool stuff there. And lastly, some other Hall of Fame kind of stuff. Not really Hall of Fame, but some records and some MLB history for you. Salvador Perez, as mentioned, he hit his 318th home run of his career, passing George Brett as the Royals' all-time home run franchise holder. Brett, of course, 20 seasons all with the Royals, had 317 home runs. Salvador Perez here in his 15th season, 5 less seasons than Brett, now has 1 more homer than him, of course, all with the Royals. These two guys are kind of Royals legends, the best 2 players in their franchise's history. And it makes sense now, of course, Perez much more of a prolific power hitter than Brett was. But still, both very good ball players. Congratulations, Salvador Perez, the Royals captain, in such an awesome milestone, an awesome moment for him and the Royals franchise. Moving on to some more records, Kazuma Okamoto set the Japanese rookie home run record with 23 home runs. He passes Shohei Ohtani, who in his rookie season had 22. But just because he's the one that has broken the record does not mean that at the end of the season he'll be the one holding the record, because he's and his 23 home runs are just one more above Murakami, who was tied right now with Ohtani with 22 home runs. But Murakami can easily hit 2 more home runs and take that record away from Okamoto. So these two Japanese sluggers will be going back and forth for the remaining 2 months of the season to see which one of them will have the rookie home run record for a Japanese player when all is said and done. But currently, it is Kazuma Okamoto who stands with the record. He is the one that broke Ohtani's record. Murakami has just tied his record, of course, having the 2-homer day that he did yesterday to pull himself within 1 of Okamoto. Really cool stuff there. And the last thing to talk about here, and I'll be talking about it again in outstanding performances because it was just an outstanding performance. Jacob Miztastic, he's got to win the Cy Young this year. What I saw, and yes, it's against the Rockies, and yes, it's the Rockies. Yes, I understand it was Colorado, but what I saw in his most recent start was utter dominance. He went 5 innings where he struck out 12 batters. And not only did he strike out 12 batters, he struck out 12 of 13 batters. He was mowing them down to start this game. That's how his pitch count got so high, and that's how he only ended up going 5 innings. But still, he set the Brewers franchise record with 7 straight strikeouts to start the game. He had 8 Ks through the first 9, and again, 12 in the first 13 batters. Did give up 1 home run, his only blemish of the night, the only hit he gave up, and the only home run. But still, and the other crazy stat here is throughout this start, he threw 66 fastballs, and every single one of them was over 100 miles per hour. Do you know how insane that is? That's an unreal stat. He threw 66 fastballs, all of them over 100 miles per hour. 12 strikeouts for the first 13 batters. Just an unreal start from Jacob Miztastic, who right now is definitely the favorite to take home the NL Cy Young over Christopher Sanchez and others. Just want to give that its own little shout out because that is insane. Absolutely insane stuff. Anyways, here now, let's get into the rest of the episode. Start off with the hot and colds from the week. CJ Abrams, he has been hot right now. His trade deadline value going up and up and up if the Nationals wanted to deal him, if the package was right. He had an insane week, going 15 for 26. He had 2 doubles and 6 home runs. He had 12 RBIs, 8 runs, and a 1.939 OPS. That is insane. I mean, 6 homers in 7 days. Unreal. Jeremy Pena, 13 for 26, 5 home runs, 8 RBIs, 10 runs, and a 1.577 OPS, hoping the Astros get hot still. Manny Machado, 11 for 32, 2 doubles, 4 homers, 7 RBIs, 7 runs, a 1.145 OPS. Dylan Dingler, 11 for 22, 2 doubles, 3 homers, 8 RBIs, 5 runs, a 1.577 OPS. And how about Christian Encarnacion Strand, finding himself a new home with Baltimore, 9 for 22, a double, 3 homers, 9 RBIs, 3 runs, and a 1.322 OPS. Those players were hot this week. But you got some players that were cold, including Trent Grisham, who was 1 for 22 with 3 strikeouts. Leody Taveras, 1 for 17 with 6 strikeouts. I swear Willie Abreu last week was on the hot players and probably one of the hottest players. He now finds himself as one of the coldest players, going 2 for 24 with 9 strikeouts. Brian Reynolds also 2 for 24 with 9 strikeouts. And Alex Bregman, 3 for 21 with 6 Ks on the week. Not fun there for those guys. They'll look to turn things around. As we move on now to the injury updates from the weekend here, and it starts with Josh Young from Texas. He ends up on the 10-day IL with a strained calf. The Mets lose Juan Soto on the 10-day IL. That's a big blow for them. He also has a strained calf and is expected to miss about 3 weeks here, so we'll see you come the end of August. Astros will lose Spencer Arrighetti on the 15-day IL with foot nerve irritation. Guardians losing a pitcher, Sean Armstrong, from the bullpen, 15-day IL. He has also got a strained calf. We got a strained calf breakout going on this week. Cody Bellinger for the Yankees, 10-day IL. He's got a strained hamstring. The Athletics, if they had any hope of trying to turn things around, find themselves back in the wild card, it probably wasn't going to happen. He's out for potentially the rest of the season. He's on the 10-day IL. He's got a torn knee meniscus, but he is questionable to return for the 2026 season. So, I mean, the A's might be without their starting catcher for the rest of the season. Blue Jays will be without Addison Barger, as it has been announced that he's out for the season. He will undergo elbow surgery. He's had a really unfortunate year dealing with injuries and just a really bad year for Barger. Unlucky year is the word I should be using here. Only played 9 games this year, and in those 9 games was 1 for 22. Yes, he's going to finish the season with 1 hit all year long. Really tough look for him and the Blue Jays, who have also been had a really tough look recently. So not good there. Those are the injury updates from the weekend. And that will now take us to the outstanding performances from the weekend. There was a handful of great starts, including Trevor Rogers for Baltimore, 7 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, no walks, 6 Ks. Tarek Skubal dominated the Royals, 7 1/3, 4 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 12 strikeouts. What are the Tigers going to do with Skubal? Hunter Brown, 7 innings, 2 hits, no runs, no walks, 7 Ks. Great start there. Roki Sasaki, 7 innings, 3 hits, a run, 2 walks, and 9 Ks. How about this pitcher's duel? Jesus Luzardo versus Cam Schlittler. Luzardo, 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, and 9 Ks. Cam Schlittler, 7 1/3, 3 hits, no runs, no walks, and 12 Ks. And if you thought that would be great for his AL Cy Young race, Dylan Cease one-ups him, 9 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 3 walks, and 12 strikeouts. The complete game shutout for Cease. I mean, the AL Cy Young is going to come down to Schlittler versus Cease. And right now, I got to say, I'm Team Dylan Cease, man. That's an unreal start. I feel like 2 of his last 3 starts have been complete game shutouts or, near no hitter against the Giants. Like, it's just been unreal stuff from Dylan Cease right now. Nick Martinez, 6 innings, 4 hits, no runs, no walks, 5 Ks. Noah Cameron, 7 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 3 walks, 8 Ks. Nathan Eovaldi goes 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, and 8 strikeouts. Shota Emenaga, 6 innings, 4 hits, no runs, a walk, and 4 Ks. Andre Palante, 7 innings, 2 hits, no runs, a walk, and 8 Ks with the Cardinals there. Drew Rasmussen, 7 innings, 1 hit, no runs, a walk, and 9 Ks. And then, as I mentioned, Jacob Mizarowski deserves the love. 5 innings, 1 hit, 1 run, the 1 homer he gave up. No walks while striking out 12 of the 15 outs that he needed to record for those 5 innings. Just unreal. 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 Like, I can't stress enough. Standings check. Let's get into the standings check. Of course, in the AL East, the Rays are still holding it on. The only team in the AL with 60 or more wins. They're at 62 and 43. And they've got a 3-game lead over the Yankees, who are 59 and 46. Boston at 54 and 50 are 7.5 back. So it really still comes down to the Rays versus the Yankees for this division. Maybe Boston can make some noise, but they got to stay hot. Baltimore, 4 games under 500. Blue Jays, 10 games under 500. They would have a lot of work to do to turn things around. In the AL Central, the White Sox have been kind of gifted the AL Central lead right now at 55 and 49, thanks to the Guardians, who have lost the last 5 games in a row. They're 54 and 53, just 1 game above 500. They've played more games than the White Sox have, but the Guardians now 2.5 games back of the White Sox. They hold the last wild card seed, though, as it stands. Twins 1 game back at 53 and 54. The Tigers 6 games under 500 and 6 games back of the White Sox for the division. They're at 50 and 56. They got to make a call with Scooble, man. It's got to be really interesting what they end up doing there. The AL West, as I mentioned, Texas and Mariners, they've been playing that 4-game set. Rangers took the first 2. They now have a 1.5 game lead over the Mariners, and if they can win today and take 3 of 4, that would be big. They'll have a 2.5 game lead over Seattle. Texas at 53 and 52. Mariners at 52 and 54. And don't look behind just too quickly yet, because the Astros, they were on a 5-game winning streak before losing on Sunday. They're 52 and 55, just 2 games back of Texas. So that is what is the standings right there for the AL West. For the NL East, the Braves 62 and 43. They have a 5.5 game lead over the Phillies, an 8.5 game lead over the Nationals. Who would have had the Nationals in 3rd place? Not me. Braves 52 and 43, as I mentioned. The Phillies 57 and 49. They've got work to do. Of course, your Miami Marlins on that 12-game losing streak. Not good. They need to get wins, and they got to get them now. The Mets, of course, still very bad. In the NL Central, the Brewers still leading the charge, 7 games up on the Cubs. Brewers are at 66 and 39, still one of the 2 teams that have yet to lose 40 games. You probably know the other team by now. The Cubs 59 and 46. Pittsburgh 54 and 52, still above 500, still with work to do here. Just 1 game back of that wild card there. But again, the Brewers looking to take another NL Central title. In the NL West, the Dodgers, it's still theirs to lose. They're 67 and 39, the best team in baseball by half a game over the Brewers as it stands. Diamondbacks 4 games above 500 at 55 and 51. They've got that last wild card seed currently hold down, but they're 12 games back of the Dodgers. So a lot of work would be needed to challenge the division at all. But you're basically fighting for a wild card spot right there as it stands. So Dodgers a 12-game lead, Brewers a 7-game lead. Braves a 5.5 game lead, Rays a 3 game lead, White Sox a 2.5 game lead, and then the Rangers a 1.5 game lead. Those are all of the gaps for first place in the division. Wild cards as it stands: Yankees 6 games up on the line, Red Sox a 1.5 games up on the line, and Cleveland, despite being on that 5 game losing streak, currently holding the last wild card. Twins a game back, Mariners a 1.5 games back, Astros 2 games back, Baltimore 2.5 back, the Tigers 3.5 back, Blue Jays 5.5 back. They're on the cusps of falling out of things, but Tigers and up, I mean, we still got about, 50 plus games left, 52, 53 games left, depending on how many games you've played so far. Like, it's still on for a lot of teams here, of course. In the NL, the Cubs 4.5 up on the line, the Phillies 2 up on the line, Diamondbacks currently holding it down, but there are teams chasing. Pirates a game back, Nationals a game back, Cardinals a 1.5 games back, Padres 2 games back, Marlins, despite their 12-game losing streak, is only 3 games back. The Reds slowly turning things around a little bit. They're only 5 games back. Can they come back from the depths of hell and turn this season around? Who knows? As I've mentioned, there's really 6 big teams that are nowhere close to things. Rockies, Mets, Giants, Angels, Athletics, Royals. It's going to take a miracle for any of those 6 teams to turn it around here at this point in the season. So that is your standings check, and that now brings us to the upcoming series for the weekend. How are we ending the month of July? Well, of course, as I mentioned, the Mariners and Rangers need to finish off their 4-game set here from the weekend. The Rangers taking 2 of 3. Mariners will look to split. Rangers will look to take 3 of 4. That is what that game has got for us. But outside of that, the Rangers are taking on the Rays. 2 first-place teams, very different in terms of the standings. Basically 9-game difference between the Rays and the Rangers, but both are first place in their division. The Oilers will play the Tigers, and this for me is a, hey, one of you sweep the other one. One of you should die from this series. One of you should get life in this series. And if it's the Tigers that get the life, hold on to Skubal. If Baltimore sweeps the Tigers, trade him. That's my hope for this series here. The Yankees and the White Sox. This could be a playoff matchup. Who knows? The Yankees the better team here at 59 and 46, but they are the 4 seed. White Sox would be the 2 seed. They currently hold the first place in the AL Central, so this is a very fun series here. Royals at Twins. They have the Red Sox at the A's. Astros at the Angels. Astros trying to stay hot here. Phillies at Marlins. Marlins on that 12-game losing streak. I keep mentioning it. That's got to change. You've got the Braves at the Mets. Blue Jays at Nationals. Cubs at Cardinals. The Ohio Bowl. Guardians at Reds. That's a fun one there. D-backs and Pirates. 2 teams that are, within each other. A game back right now. Of the wild card, the final wild card seed right now. So this is a really fun matchup to watch between Arizona and Pittsburgh. The Brewers will get the Giants, the Rockies will get the Padres, and the Seattle Mariners have a date with the Los Angeles Dodgers. That is the upcoming series. Some big ones in the AL, some fun ones in the NL as well. That Pirates D-backs, I might have to check that one out a lot this week. But that is the end of today's episode, ladies and gentlemen. Again, a week away from the trade deadline. How many more trades will we have between now and Friday? I don't know. I'm already thinking about Monday, and I'm not sure what my schedule is going to be, but because the deadline is at 6 o'clock Eastern time, I might just make Monday's episode the first ever evening episode, and I might just upload that around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, because the deadline's at 6. So if I make my episode in the morning, you still have 5-6 hours probably before the actual deadline happens. And that's usually when a lot of trades will go down. So what's the point of waiting for all those trades to go down and then talking about them on Friday instead of just uploading an evening episode on Monday? So I might end up doing that. Who knows? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I appreciate you all. Thank you, everybody, so much. And I will see you on Friday.